So what if I told you money isn't really the reason why you are not starting up your rabbit farming journey this 2025? After watching my videos, you usually get inspired to start up a rabbit farming project, but immediately after leaving the video, you go back to your normal life and you continue with the same trend. That trend must stop, right? It needs to stop, and I'm going to help you out to start up this project that you've always dreamed of starting. So what is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Ezekiel. This here is Snow Farms. We are into rabbitry. So if you are planning on starting up a rabbit project, if it's a side hustle you are planning to start up, consider following us because we post content related to rabbitry. So you might want to stick to this channel, okay? And of course, to our old subscribers, I would like to say welcome back to the channel, and it's always good to have you guys with us, okay? So the very first thing to get you started successfully is to first of all set goals and visions for your business, okay? Now these goals and visions are going to act as your guidelines, okay? When you're starting up a business, it's good you set your goals and visions. These are going to steer you towards the right path. What do you seek to solve? What's the aim of your business? Okay, what is the gap that you've seen in the market that you seek so much that you think that you would be able to solve for that demand? Now when setting up goals, we have long-term goals, we have medium-term goals, and we equally have short-term goals, okay? So it's good you set these goals in order. Set long-term goals, set short-term goals, and of course set your medium-term goals, okay? Now you start with the short-term goals. These are easily achievable ones that you can easily achieve within a couple of months. The medium-term goals are equally things that you will be achieving in subsequent years to come, and of course the longer-term goals are in the future, what you aspire for the business to grow into. So these goals are going to be steering you gradually as you progress in your business. This is going to ensure that you are on the right path, okay? This is going to ensure that the vision that you set for your business, you are actually achieving it, right? You're actually achieving it because you don't go off street, and you don't go allocating resources to things that you didn't actually plan or you didn't budget for. So visions and goals are very important, and this should be the number one thing that you should set. The next thing is for you to go ahead and do your research and of course your market analysis, okay? Now you are going into the business, so you should do some form of research. Find out the background of the business that you are planning on going into. Find out the advantages of it, the disadvantages of it, okay? Equally find out in your setting, in your location, is the business going to flourish, right? That's one very important thing that most people don't really consider. So now in rabbit farming, there are several ways that you can be making profit from rabbit farming, okay? Some rabbit farmers are into rabbit farming purposely because they are producing pet animals, okay? So do your research, find out what your geographically people around you, what they are going to be demanding for, then you are going for it. And now on to the next step, which is something that most people actually use it as an excuse, simply because I don't have the capital to start. But with time, I've come to realize that this is not actually the reason why. This is not. This shouldn't be a reason for you not to start up the dream business that you've always dreamt about. Okay. So now you need to get some form of capital when you're starting up your business, because money is what is going to it's the fuel that is going to be running your business, right? So you need some form of capital. Now capital is going to come into different forms. It's going to come in different forms, okay? It's going to come from your personal savings, okay? It's going to come from family and friends. It's going to come from maybe loans. But however, I do not recommend loans, simply because you are going into a business that the chances of you losing and you making it is more like it's more like 50-50. So I wouldn't recommend that you go in for a loan. Remember, the banks are giving you the loan simply because they are equally going to be getting some amount of interest from it. So if you happen not to be able to get them back their money, it means you are going to be having a tough time with the banks. Equally still on the startup capital, you need to pay close attention to things like feeding. because remember, in livestock they require more supervision than in the crop aspect. Okay, you realize that in the crop aspect you tend to get some kind of vacancy, because after planting and everything you kind of relax on it. But with the animals, they require constant supervision. Okay, so it means that you need to set aside spare cash for cases like when diseases come up. You can easily rely on those sources to try and get vaccines and medicines to vaccinate your animals. Okay, things like feeding, you need to budget very well for your feeding. Okay, trust me, I've learned this the hard way. Okay, you need to prepare very well when it comes to your feeding aspects. Okay, if you can get twice of the budget that you are planning for your feeding and reserve it aside, and even if you can, try to source some feed components and keep it in your storage sites, so that in case of shortages you can rely on those feed components to make feed for your animals. Lastly, the very last thing I'm going to be giving out to you guys is that don't let the fear of failing stop you from starting up a business. Okay, you might not know, okay, if someone had told me I would be at this level, I would probably tell the person was kidding, or the person was not being realistic with me, because I didn't actually dream I would get to this level or have this number of stock on my farm. Okay, so master up your courage and start up that business. Okay, so that is all I have for you for today's episode, and I hope it came useful to you guys. And of course, give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and a quick reminder that we equally have a channel on TikTok where we equally post content related to rabbitry. Okay, so you can go and you can check it out. There's a lot of information there, and it's going to come useful to you. Okay, remember, you are starting up your business and you're going to be needing lots and lots of information. Thank you very much for sticking with us, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.